Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, this morning as we continue our conversation, I have the privilege of chatting online with Mrs. Latoya Roberts Thomas. She is a self-published author from here in Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, welcome, and I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. And you are a self-published author, among other things, among many, many other things, right? But this morning we are focused on some of the publications that you have made, and specifically the latest launch of your book, The Tide Reclaims. Good morning again, and tell us a bit about this latest book.
Thank you so much for having me. So, this book is really a romance novel, and I didn't want it to be a very simple romance novel where boy meets girl, boy likes girl, and boy lives happily ever after with their partner. So, instead, there's a stronger underlying theme of climate change and resiliency and living sustainable within the Caribbean. So that's why the title is actually Tide Reclaims, because it speaks to the oceans, the sea, the environment. So it really captures the life and the struggles that persons go through living in the Caribbean island. And yes, you're living, you're trying to survive, you're going to find love, you're going to find family, you're going to find community. But it also highlights the challenges that we have with coastal erosion, with the degradation of our corals, with things changing via climate, hurricane, storm, and all the climate actions and solutions that we have been implementing, and how some might be useful and some not that useful to us in this region.
Excellent. And for the persons who are wondering, what does climate change have to do with a love story? Tell us how you made that connection and why it was important for you to make that connection.
Excellent question. So, when I spoke to a few of my colleagues about climate change, etc., the topic is very dense. It's very difficult for most persons to understand. And I wanted a simplified way to explain to persons how climate change affects us and how it's important. So the characters are set around Megan being a person who grew up in the islands, went abroad, studied, lived the corporate life, was functioning in the boardroom, but the call for nature and the environment brought her home. And James, his family also grew up in a small island, but they migrated to New York, living in a big multinational company out there. And through tokenism, they've been giving back to the island, but they're really not too strong in understanding the purpose of their money and how deep their pockets are and what it means to develop the island. So there was a regional conference. These two parties met. They were challenging each other, bickering with each other on different, I guess, actions that could be taken to solve the problems. And in the end, they realized that only in working together, understanding the role of the corporate society and also the role of the grassroots persons and building community action and resilience, they can work together to save the island. So it's really
Excellent.
bringing that large concept really down to the simple common man, and everybody in society can benefit and understand their role in climate change.
Right. So we're saying it's not necessarily about the love story. It's more about climate change, but nestled in a love story in the Caribbean. Tell us who you're targeting with this book and what do you hope to achieve with the story behind it.
Well, the romance novel is really catered to young readers, young avid readers who like to normally read romance novels, but it also speaks to the wider population and society who might want a light reading and something a bit more topical, or something that has a little bit more substance within understanding the reading of an issue to be resolved. And I think at the end of the day, the call to action is really for everyone to understand that there's a rule and there's a place for everybody living on this island, and how we could come together as community action to really solve those challenges that we have.
Right. And tell us about the actual book launch that you had.
So yesterday I completed my first book launch for the book in Trinidad, and it was really nice because I partnered with a small sustainability company, the Market Movers, who really focuses on 95% of things being local grown and supporting farmers and supporting persons that are doing environment actions, etc. So it was really nice of bringing a nice community of persons who care about the environment, who care about sustainability, to talk about the issues and talk about the book. So that was concluded yesterday. in Trinidad. And
Excellent.
then, sorry,
Go
continue.
go ahead. I was just about to ask you, and where can persons in Tobago get the book?
So the book is available at Books and Office Supplies and TH Mall, and it's also available at Heavenly Things on the Scarborough Esplanade. So persons in Tobago can definitely get copies of the book.
Okay, and is this one also self-published, or did you go with a publisher?
It is self-published, and I think I really prefer that route because it helps authors to really own the narrative and own the messages that they want to produce in their book. Sometimes going to traditional publishers, while there may be benefits to it, I do believe that everybody have their voice, their tone, and the message of the audience that they're trying to reach. And sometimes going with a traditional publisher might focus on more commercial, what really sells, what is the big book, big idea, what is popular. So self-publishing is an opportunity that you can have your story proclaimed in the way that you see fit and targeting the audience that you desire.
Excellent. And for persons who want to use this book as a gift to persons who they know really love and enjoy reading, do you recommend this as a good gift?
I think you're asking the obvious. So yes, I do think persons should purchase the book. Not only for yourself but for others, because a key theme of the book is really about a feel good moment and bringing change to society, bringing good to people. So I think at the end of the day, romance, love, caring about the environment, caring about people is the theme of the book. So it will make a good gift for everyone.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you so much for your time this morning. And, go ahead as we wrap up to remind persons why it's important to support this launch, where they can get the book, about a little bit of the storyline and, a little tease of what they can get from that read.
Well, thank you so much. I just want to encourage persons to check out the Tide Reclaims. It's available in local bookstores in Tobago at Books and Office Supply or Heavenly Things on the Scarborough Esplanade. Also, it's available in Trinidad at Scribbles and Quills Bookstore in Chiguanas, and also Refresh Cafe in El Socorro. And I'll also be launching the book in Barbados at the end of the month in Carifesta. So it will be available going up the region soon. So look forward to the support.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to you taking the region by storm with the Tide Reclaims, because we know the story of one Caribbean island, a lot of the time it does relate to others on other islands. So, we have that synergy in terms of our life experiences and the things that we're often exposed to here within the region. So we look forward to you having a successful launch in all the countries that you go to. And again, I just want to wish you all the best and say congratulations to you on another successful book launch. Have a great
Thank you
morning.
very much.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back right after this. So see you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion starts.